When you Google how the world is going to end, you are provided with the following from the Google image results. Ever since I was a child, I have been encountering many theories regarding the end of the world. The world of the Mzungu is a world of fear. From the book of Revelation with its horror stories to the modern climate change Armageddon scenarios. This video will go through a compilation of a selection of the end of the world scenarios that I was exposed to while growing up.
1. The Book of Revelation.
My first encounter with a theory of the end of the world was from the Bible. Since I grew up in the 90s, the year 2000 was significant because it was the end of the millennium and the beginning of a new one according to the Gregorian calendar. The end of the millennium was significant because a lot of Christian denominations believed that the end of that millennium would bring about a fulfillment of an important prophecy. I remember going to church as a young person and then being told that one day Jesus will come back to earth. But before he comes back, we as the people of God will undergo some tribulations under the Antichrist. The book of Revelation also had some very descriptive words for the end of the world beasts that will come to finish us. These beasts were too terrifying for my young consciousness. The fear of the end of the world became real, and my young mind also started creating scenarios where those beasts will come from. Will they come from the lake or the mountains? How tall will they be? How will they move? This end of the world scenario stuck with me for a very long time until I was introduced to the next end of the world theory.
2. The nuclear bomb annihilation.
The second major way I was told the world would end is by nuclear annihilation. This is because the 20th century had experienced 2 world wars and the dawn of the nuclear age. This narrative was pushed incessantly that the world might end up being destroyed by the 2 major nuclear powers at the time. When I was very young, I had also come across a book about Hiroshima. The cover page of the book was showing the mushroom cloud of the nuclear bomb that was dropped in Nagasaki. The images of the destroyed city were etched into my young mind. As time passed, this narrative kept being played in the news whenever the 2 world powers were in any altercations with their proxy countries. Due to this never-ending war between the 2 northern powers, a group of nuclear scientists came together to form a Doomsday Committee. This committee has a clock that shows how close we as human beings are to a nuclear Armageddon. This clock is always a few minutes to midnight, which is the theoretical end of the world.
3. A comet or an asteroid colliding with Earth.
I was told that once upon a time there were huge reptiles called dinosaurs. These animals were the kings of the world millions and millions of years ago. One day an asteroid came hurtling down to Earth and wiped them all out. Since we human beings, as the chosen people that have been given the custodianship of Earth, we are destined not to experience the same fate as those uncivilized animals. That is why NASA is actively working on projects to save us from such calamities. The motto for this project seemed to be, if God cannot save us, we will save ourselves. This organization has both satellites and ground observations of the space around the Earth. They actively look for objects that might come near the orbit of Earth, thereby rendering us to the same fate as the poor dinosaurs. This scenario was coupled with movies like Deep Impact and Armageddon, where the Earth is almost annihilated by a comet and an asteroid respectively. With such scary scenarios, it is therefore imperative to come up with government-funded projects that will protect the whole of Earth and its inhabitants. Actual NASA projects like Project DART that aim to divert any asteroid from coming too close to Earth and thereby killing the chosen people.
4. A worldwide pandemic.
Since the world of the Mzungu has documented disease outbreaks in their history like the Black Plague, I was told of another end of the world scenario might be a global pandemic that will kill or wipe out a significant fraction of the world population. This is only possible due to the interconnected nature of our modern world. I can't remember how many movies and series that I have watched regarding the end of the world through a worldwide pandemic. The disease usually starts from some third world country and spreads all over the world, wiping out the population. Once again, we will be all alone to sort this out ourselves using the global organizations for international cooperation.
5. Artificial intelligence or AI uprising marketed as Skynet.
We currently live in the information age, an era that is only possible because, over the last 20 years, the Silicon Valley companies have been collecting personal data. These companies then decided to use this data to train a machine, the technical term being machine learning. Using this data, the machine has finally learned, after billions of parameters and all the human knowledge on the internet. The machine has finally transformed to an advanced artificial intelligence chatbot called ChatGPT. We have been told that this super chatbot created by man is dangerous to humanity's existence. This super chatbot, which can now only create images and text, will in a few years' time be running the factories of the world. When the super chatbot acquires this capability, it will decide to manufacture nuclear bombs and stealth fighters. After the super chatbot has acquired enough armaments, it will decide to wipe out humanity using nuclear war. This is because the super chatbot will be jealous of humanity's ability to love and create art. This is also a favorite subject for Hollywood producers, because I myself am a witness to the many movies that were made with this very subject matter, where man creates an artificial intelligence being that later destroys its creator, who is man.
6. Aliens or extraterrestrial beings' invasion of planet Earth.
I was told that after we detonated the first nuclear bomb in the year 1945, that the rulers of the universe noticed that human beings existed. This weapon was so powerful the neighbors in the universe finally took note of Earth. As you are seeing this video, those advanced alien creatures are on their way to Earth. They are curious to see who are these people who have managed to develop such a destructive weapon. Once they reach Earth, they will start enslaving us just the same way the human beings had enslaved their fellow human beings for generations. These beings will need our slave labor to construct the next monument of immortality. The monument will be in the shape of a pyramid that will be 5 kilometers high and 5 square kilometers, so that it is visible from outer space. These extraterrestrial beings will wipe us out because they will use the whole of humanity for slave labor while also depleting all our natural resources. Once the extraterrestrials are done, they will move on to the next planet to continue the conquest of other weak planets that do not have sufficient defenses against the aliens' advanced technological prowess.
7. Climate change.
The final end of the world scenario is an extreme climate. This is man-made climate change. This is the one that is sold to us constantly. Even though not everyone is polluting or destroying the planet as some advanced economies are doing, we are told that all of us have to carry the burden. This is because the economic engine of production has to move on. It cannot be stopped. They keep having dozens and dozens of international meetings to try and come to a consensus. We have been told that if the temperature is going to rise by between 2 and 5 degrees, then the world will end. Even though the destruction of the environment is a major factor which is a direct result of economic growth, they keep trying to use the same economy to try and save the environment. All the corporate entities that are called countries have to keep growing so that we can all have a high standard of living. A high standard of living means that everyone can afford an electric car and a palatial home with a roof fitted with solar panels. We are told that all of us have to live in a circular economy and live sustainably, and eventually we will overcome this climate threat. Due to the increase in temperature from climate change, the polar ice caps are going to melt. This is going to raise the overall sea levels and therefore wipe out all the cities that are located in the coastlines. Since all the major advanced economies have their biggest cities located near these coastlines, the demise of these cities from flooding from the sea level rise will be equivalent to the end of the world.
Conclusion.
The reason for all these end-of-the-world scenarios are as a result of the religion of man. The religion of man is the one that creates all the above end-of-the-world theories. The infrastructure investment that has been done around the world has created an unhealthy attachment such that, for people who live in cities, seem to believe that they cannot live without smooth highways, supermarkets, malls, and high-rise apartments. They seem to have forgotten about people who live in rural areas and are able to survive without all of these amenities. Maybe the so-called advanced economies should learn from these communities on how to live without the need for a huge extraction of resources from the environment and truly live sustainably. In addition, the Mzungu has been predicting the future from the days of Nostradamus and failing at it miserably. The Mzungu will never be able to fully predict the future, as he has been claiming even in the Holy Book. It is a pointless endeavor. No matter how much he tries to control everything around us, he will never be a master of the universe as he claims. The Mzungu will never be able to create life, neither will he ever be able to destroy it, and it therefore means that the Mzungu will never be able to create God nor destroy God.